I often get asked my opinion on bodybuilding. Is it a sport? That's a touchy question because I'll be honest with you, I love bodybuilding. I competed myself. I trained bodybuilders, both pro and amateurs. I have a deep, deep respect for everybody who goes through a full bodybuilding preparation because in my opinion and in my experience, nothing is harder than preparing for a bodybuilding contest when it comes at least to physical performances. And also, it is clear that on contest day, it is extremely tiring, especially when you have big classes and you're posing there for long minutes. It is totally super hard. In fact, I played football for about 9 years. I played rugby, I played golf, I played hockey, and honestly, a bodybuilding contest is actually the hardest thing I've done when it comes to competing in something. Now, with that said, in my opinion, bodybuilding is not a sport, even though in theory it has been recognized by the IOC as a sport. Of course, if I give them enough money, they will agree that playing like deck hockey is a sport, which it isn't. Now, my opinion is that bodybuilding is an amazingly hard physical activity. People will argue, well, I'm training 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day, so that got to be a sport, right? Well, a sport has nothing to do with training. You could actually compete in a sport without even training for it if you have enough skills. Sport refers to a physical activity that requires a certain level of skill and physical performance competed against opponent according to a certain set of rules. Now, the arguable part is about bodybuilding is when you're competing, it doesn't really require a specific set of skill. You're not comparing skill level. It's not, and don't give me that figure skating analogy. It's not like figure skating. It's not like gymnastic because you have a certain type of skill and you are being like judged on the proper execution of those skills. In bodybuilding, yes, you have the mandatory poses, but you know what? The best posers don't always win. In fact, they rarely win. So that is proof that they actually are not being judged on their skills. In fact, at the amateur level, the posing, the actual routine is not judged because at the pre-judging where the scores are in, they don't even do their routine. So they're simply judged on how good they look. Muscularity-wise, body composition, symmetry, stuff like that. And that is not a sport. It's a beauty pageant. It's not a bad word, all right? It's just what it is. And yes, you're training hard. The bodybuilders are amazingly hard training individuals. They do hours of cardio, hours of weightlifting. They have the strictest diet of all athletes I know. And I would say that bodybuilders in that regard are athletes. But competing in bodybuilding is not a sport in my opinion. That doesn't make it any worse or any better. It's just what it is. So in my opinion is that bodybuilders are amazingly hardworking individuals. To get to that level requires dedication and effort, but the actual act of competing on contest day does not represent a sport. That is my opinion, and with that being said, I still admire, respect, and love bodybuilders.